Imagine yourself on the way to catch a plane to that dream vacation. You get to the airport, you're already running a little bit late, but the airport is absolutely packed, full of people. But there you are, bright and smart, skipping the long lines and going straight to security to the VIP lane where you don't have to take your shoes off, you don't have to take your liquids out. Is it a dream? No, it's called TSA PreCheck and it comes with your global entry card. What is up everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about TSA PreCheck global entry. We're going to learn what they are, how to enroll in them, what the benefits are, how to use them. Make sure that you stayed until the end of the video. You will be glad you did. Hey there, thanks for being here. My name is Maggie Gomez with the Nomadelle, and I create content for those of you who want to travel more, maybe take a gap year. If that interests you, please consider liking this video, subscribing, and hitting that bell notification so you don't miss out on information that will help you achieve your travel dreams. And with that, let's dive right in. So first things first, what is TSA PreCheck and global entry? They are both part of the Trusted Traveler program. This program is sponsored by the US Customs and Border Protection Service. This service allows trusted and low-risk travelers to receive expedited clearance when entering the United States and also when leaving the States. TSA stands for Transportation Security Administration, and TSA PreCheck allows you to skip those long lines at the check-in points on the airports by expediting the process to get to your gate, but not having to take your shoes off, take your laptop out, or showing the liquids that you are carrying with you, etc. Global entry, on the other hand, allows you to expedite the process for you to come back to the States by allowing biometrics such as facial recognition and digital fingerprints to recognize you, as you see on those kiosks that are situated strategically throughout the airport. Okay, so we're talking about two different programs. TSA PreCheck allows you to expedite the process of you leaving the US. On the other hand, the global entry allows you to expedite the process when coming back to the US. Now, you can apply for just TSA PreCheck, and that's fine, or you can apply for global entry, and global entry includes the TSA PreCheck. So for an additional fee, I would absolutely recommend that you apply for global entry, and that way you get both TSA PreCheck and global entry. By the way, these programs do not replace passports or visas, so make sure that you check this video right here for additional information that explains how updating your passport will have an impact on your global entry card. Okay, so now let's see who's eligible for these programs, how much these programs cost, and what's the duration of each membership. US citizens and lawful US residents qualify for the TSA PreCheck program, must be able to provide biometric information such as fingerprints, and criminal offenses will disqualify the applicant. Global entry has, in general terms, the same eligibility criteria, except that not only US citizens and lawful US residents qualify, but also citizens of very few other specific countries as well. TSA PreCheck costs about $85. Global entry costs about $100. They are both good for 5 years. So since you are getting TSA PreCheck with global entry, I would definitely say that again, it's a much better deal. For $15 extra, you might as well get both TSA PreCheck with your global entry. So now let's go ahead and take a look and see how we can apply for any of these programs. The best website to go to, and of course I'm going to leave the link in the description below, it's going to be the TTP Trusted Traveler Program.dhs, which is the Department of Homeland Security.gov. So let's go there, and that's going to take us to a page where it's going to give us several options, right? Depending on where you travel the most, some options make more sense for you to apply than others. For example, if you just travel mostly between the US and Canada, there is a program called Nexus, and it's only $50, so that would make more sense for you to apply to that. If you travel mainly between Canada, US, and Mexico, then there is a program called Sentry, and that make more sense for you to apply to that. But if you are planning on traveling all over the world, then of course either TSA PreCheck. I don't know why somebody would just apply for TSA PreCheck. I would definitely recommend again to apply for global entry, which is a little bit more, just $15 additional, $100. The membership lasts 5 years, and it's a non-refundable fee. All the fees here are not refundable, and that is the one that we're going to go ahead and click on Get Started. And of course, the next page is just security notification. Basically, it's just saying that you cannot process classified national security information on this computer system, and consent and continue, because the next step when you are applying for a trusted traveler program is for you to create an account. They're going to ask you a lot of questions, such as, your address, your date of birth, your current passport number, etc. And then when they're able to process your application, you're going to receive another notification that will allow you to select the location where you have to go and interview with someone from Homeland Security or Customs and Border Protection. Actually, there are usually 2 or 3 offices. I didn't know this until I applied for the Global Entry card myself a couple of years ago. I didn't know that, but there are a couple of offices locally in most places. It's a very easy process. The interview itself took probably not more than 15 minutes. And once the interview is over, they are going to stamp the letter that you originally received in the mail confirming the time and date of the interview. And you could travel with that letter, but the card itself, you're not going to get until a couple of weeks after that via regular mail. And it's actually a very cool looking card, and it shows just your name, your information, and they give you a little booklet providing you information on how to use your card. Okay, and lastly, how to confirm that your trusted traveler number appears on your boarding pass. This is super important because it happened to me. So first of all, a trusted traveler number is not going to appear on your boarding pass, but instead you're going to see that little TSA PreCheck mark on your boarding pass. And this is something that happened to me a long time ago. And so that's what I wanted to share it with you so it doesn't happen to you. I had a flight scheduled for, I believe it was for either 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. It was extremely early. It was for work, and I had made reservations with somebody on the phone directly through the airline, and I thought I gave them my trusted traveler number, but apparently in the boarding pass it didn't print, it didn't show. Okay, so first of all, I overslept, and I was running so incredibly late to the airport. But in my mind, I thought, well, I have this TSA PreCheck, I can skip the line, I can go straight to my gate. And however, because of the fact that my TSA PreCheck mark was not printed on the boarding pass, and it wasn't the paper boarding pass, I haven't had a boarding pass printed in years, right? We're talking about the boarding pass, the digital boarding pass that you get on your phone. It wasn't there, right? And because of that, I made the TSA PreCheck line, and when it got to my turn, I got turned away to the long lane because that TSA PreCheck mark was not on my boarding pass. I had to turn around. I was I was about to burst in tears, but obviously the TSA agents and security agents, of course, they were doing their job. It's not that they didn't care, but they just could not let me in, even though I was showing them my global entry card. But because of the fact that that wasn't printed on my boarding pass, I had to go and make the long lane, the regular lane. I had to, obviously take my shoes off, take my laptop. By the time, and after that, I was running to my gate, and I got to my gate 2 minutes after it closed, and they didn't open the doors. They didn't open the gates. I missed my flight. So don't let that happen to you. Granted, that was absolutely 100% my fault because I overslept. But that obviously taught me a very good lesson, and that is make sure that whether you make your reservation online or over the phone with an agent, make sure that you tell them and make sure that the TSA PreCheck mark shows on your travel information, right? That is absolutely extremely important. Now, when that happened to me, I called every single airline that I had a loyalty card with and made sure that they had my trusted traveler number in my profile, just to avoid all that happened to me again. So learn from my mistakes, and definitely next time I was a lot smarter about it. And of course, I have never overslept for a flight again. Anyhow, so that's my piece of advice. I hope you learned something today. By all means, please post any comments that you may have, any questions or any stories related to your global entry card or your TSA PreCheck membership that you may have. So until next time, happy travels and be safe.